We want to say hello to everybody in our open book audience tonight. Diana Lynch, S.R. O'Brien, Barbara Jenko, Lori Tierney, Susan Hurst, Rick, Karen Smith, Mark Stroshine, Jeff Mead, Marianne Baumgartner. Very good to be with you. Very special, extra early open book tonight. We have two very distinguished guests and a book that I must say I enjoyed going through a lot, Ghosts of Sicily. Now, both of our guests, in a sense, are retired NCIS agents. Uh, Leon Carroll actually did the job. Mark Harmon, with all due respect, read the lines, but in any event, they have collaborated on a series of books. This is the third book in their series, and talk about collaboration. It talks about an unlikely and controversial collaboration between Lucky Luciano and the Office of Naval Intelligence. So they both joined us now. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Could I get you to begin, Mr. Carroll, and then Mr. Harmon? I just found one of the most extraordinary scenes was the visit Lucky Luciano got at the Great Meadow Prison in New York, May 14, 1942. Could you tell us about that visit and how it came to be?
There are several visits. Could you read a little bit about that? May 14th is.
It's the one where they brought deli food, the first one.
That's still in my memory.
Oh, well.
It wasn't one of those that I thought was very important, but
it's when they unveiled to him the idea. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. The first time they went up, that was done. They got Meyer Lansky to agree to get Luciano to help. And at that point, he was at Dannemora, which is way up north in New York State, so far away that he wasn't getting any visitors. And so one of the ideas that he had in his mind was to get closer to Manhattan. So he wanted to come down to Green Meadows. So they went up, and I forgot about them taking the sandwiches and all of that with him and talked to him about that. And basically the word came said, yes, I will do this. But I think his motivation was more about getting closer so he could have more visitors. And it worked for us as well because we were able to visit him more often. And the first time they made the visit, they didn't have Joe Lanza with them. Socks, it was his kind of underworld name. And he said, hey, next time you come, bring Socks up because Lanza was the first guy that we had recruited, so to speak, to start this whole scheme, bringing in sources from the office.
This is Joey Socks Lanza.
Lanza, correct.
Yeah, Lanza. Mark Harmon, how did your collaboration with Leon Carroll begin?
Well, first of all, back to your first question. I totally get that he can order deli food and get it. Right?
Yeah, well, I'm
with you. 100%. I'm with you. That's amusing. But Leon Carroll was a gentleman I met very first day on this show, sitting next to me in the chairs you wait offset, light, fix the camera angles, things. And he was there every day for 20 years with me on that show. It's a lot of downtime between camera subs. And, part of my job and part of why I like being an actor is trying to find out who the person is or individual is I'm supposed to be playing. I had never heard, maybe like most people, I'd never heard of NCIS. And that's also kind of by design. So he was kind enough to, he had just retired. It's why he took the job as a TA in the first place. And I had actually worked with Leon's partner and done rounds with him, done the kind of stuff actors do to try to prepare for a role. I met Leon first day on the set. We talked, and he was, aside from the knowledge he had about the agency that no one had, no one at that time knew what it was at all. He is also a former Marine, and there are no former Marines. So my respect for him is another respect.
Yeah. Well, I don't know a nice way to ask this. Why did the U.S. government decide they had to use Lucky Luciano?
Uh, when you say U.S. government, it was actually the Office of Naval Intelligence, which was the precursor to NIS, which is now NCIS. I would say if the United States government knew that they were doing what they were doing, they wouldn't be doing it. Uh, this was an idea of a captain by the name of McFall and a commander by the name of Othman, who were in the District Intelligence Office here in New York City. And they had this idea they could recruit sources within the mafia that could give them access to other people who could provide information on what was going on in the fishing industry. And Joe Sachs Lanza was working. He had the Fulton market under his control. And with that, they brought him in. He was looking at an indictment at the time. And I think his motivation, more so than the others that came later, was to see if he could get a deal to shorten whatever, jury prosecution that would come up, whatever sentence that would come up. And so that worked for quite a while. He actually got intelligence officers, you know, to work in bars, fish markets, all over this area in Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, and from that they were getting information. Essentially, they were looking for information on why the Germans were sinking so many merchant vessels going over to Europe. And later on, they found out that they wanted to expand this program. When I say they, it was it was actually Offenden who saw the big picture and what would happen if we went in to invade Italy.
Yeah. How hard was some of this information to discover?
Very.
Because give us some idea, please.
Well, this is an agency certainly that is not used to talking about anything, and naval intelligence is part of that too. And I know this from being an actor and just trying to research not only a character but an agency that doesn't talk, does not talk. Before the TV show, if you were to look up NCIS or NIS on your computer or something, there would have been nothing. Zero.
Yeah.
Now, if you look up that, you get nothing but 20 pages of TV show stuff. They're prideful in doing the job they've done for a very long time and not talking about it. And Leon too. I mean, he's a Marine and he's 20 plus year tenured special agent. I think we were fortunate to get him on the show to be able to be someone who was there every day to talk to ask questions of, to in some cases say, does this really happen? I mean, you really do this?
Yeah.
I mean, I think about that all the time because, for example, being in the interrogation room, I want to know what the limits are. I mean, as an actor, you want to know that. And then you start finding out that, people do it different ways. Know a guy that did it this way, know the guy that did it this way. I did it this way. I just think it added such texture to that material. And I was always appreciative of that. And I always thought that if we did get the chance that writing about this, even though neither one of us are writers, would be a really wonderful path.
Yeah. Well, you have managed to produce 3 books, this being the third one. I think you can call yourselves writers. How does your collaboration work? How do you go back and forth? What do you do?
We talk.
Yeah. Well, it started early on just with researching materials. And I always give credit to the NCISA association, which is retirees. They did a history project, which is online. And that's where we initially start to get ideas that we think would be worth writing about. And he talked about the first one, which was Honolulu, and we saw Doug Wada, who actually was the first Japanese American that was hired as a civilian agent back in the 40s, basically for his language skills. Then we go on to Panama, which was an experience that I pretty much had. And now we're back to World War II. So I think looking at the history of an organization, and the Marine Corps is really good about teaching their history, much more so than any of the other branches of services, and also much more than NCIS. Now, I would guarantee you, if you went to talk to an agent about any of these three books that's in the organization now, unless they've read the book, which I know a lot of them have, but until they read the book, they had no idea what this was about. When I came on back in the day, I didn't know that we had a counterintelligence mission. And that was before we added the criminal to our name. And I was amazed because I thought, well, that means that these guys have to go out and be in combat situations and they're civilians. And in World War II, we did it. And we did it in Vietnam. And we've done it in Afghanistan and Iraq. Those are things that a lot of people, when they sign up for the job, don't know that that's part of the mission.
Yeah. Maybe I speak too much as a Chicagoan when I say this, but it's easy to
I know I detected that accent.
that accent.
I'm a South Sider.
You're a South Sider.
Yeah,
I'm a North Sider.
I know. Pathetic Bucks fan, right?
I'm afraid so. Yeah, but you've got the Pope on your side.
That's exactly right. That's a good guy to have on your side these days.
Yeah, I was about to say I think he helped out the Bears a little last year towards the end of the season. That last pass that Caleb Williams completed. Is there any? Wait, yeah. Is there any other explanation other than papal intervention?
Papal intervention, right?
This was my Christmas gift, I think. Yeah, this was my holiday gift from my wife and daughters. It's easy to criticize a working alliance with the mob. But did it save lives after all, the United States also had a working alliance with Joseph Stalin. Did it save American lives at the time?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
So much of that invasion of Sicily, so much of that was trying to make Germany think we were going to invade somewhere else. We were going to land somewhere else, when in reality, the only place to land was Sicily.
Yeah,
for a lot of reasons. So the diversion of that, the art of the sleight of hand of that was in some ways masterfully done, and I totally believe it had to save lives, had to have saved. I mean, it cost a lot of lives as it was, but it would have cost more lives had the agency or O&I not been involved.
Yeah. Are there more ghosts to be discovered?
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of stories. There's lots of, it's a long process, and we have a lot of researchers that help us and gather material, and sometimes it's a very deep dig, and that takes time. A lot of this stuff is hard to find, and some of that by design. So, fortunately, I noticed that when we first started doing this show, asking questions of someone like Leon, who's sitting in the next chair to me, and getting from him an answer, where with others who I had also met from the agency, just an actor trying to prepare. They're not telling me anything, which isn't exactly helping me understand the character I'm supposed to be playing. So I have a debt to Leon, and in a different way, a debt to this agency as well. But people know about this agency because of a TV show.
I'm very touched by that. I got to tell you, you feel a lot of actors would just kind of walk away and say, "Get me the next role." I'm very touched that you feel that. And Mr. Carroll, I'm very touched by the continued partnership you continue to feel with people who served since you've left.
I owe this guy a debt of gratitude because we started this book series. I didn't know it was going to be a series. I know I was asked to come up with a list of ideas. I didn't know that it would go beyond the first book. And that was such a success that I asked to continue doing them. And it's been obviously a lot of work. I mean, the first one we went through COVID and all of that, which everything was done on Zoom pretty much. And then similar to that with Panama. And now this one is just, you've learned how the process works. And I think getting any information out, it didn't really get any easier because the further you go back, the harder it is. None of these people are alive, right? And only knowing one person who knew these people, or several of them, or whose dad knew them and was passing second, third hand information, they didn't talk.
Well, I hope there's a fourth and a fifth. So I can't thank you both for it.
Thanks. That's nice of you.
Yeah. Thanks for reading that and asking me a question that initially my brain didn't spit it out, where you were going with it. But
That's all right. They
there's
just
so many
really
dates in that book. Like what happened on May 14th, right?
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I should have given it away with the deadly food. That's all.
Yeah.
We want to thank everybody for being with us on our open book tonight, and our particularly distinguished guests, Mark Harmon and Leon Carroll Jr., both NCIS in a way, and their latest book. Notice how I say latest is Ghosts of Sicily. So I want to thank you both very much. We haven't quite got things set up for open book tomorrow night, but we will be in touch. Oh, can I ask you gentlemen a totally personal favor?
Sure. Kind of depends on the favor.
Yeah, no, I'm right. And I'm asking you.
What's the matter, Jack?
Our technical director, Maggie, it's her birthday. And I can't tell you what it would mean for the two of you to say happy birthday to Maggie.
Is she there?
She is here.
Move over,
Help her to get on camera.
So this was what I asked.
Well, goodbye, I guess.
No.
Hello to my entire family that is watching this.
Maggie, move into a 2-shot. There you go.
So this is what I asked for my birthday.
What?
Because this. This is what I asked for my birthday. My dad is a Marine. My Marine who are my siblings. I am in that world myself, and you should know that you are often referred to as the Mark Twains of our universe. So please write more books.
That's nice of you.
You're making it tough on us.
Happy birthday, Maggie.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to go back under the table to eat my emotional support sketty now, because this is maybe the greatest day of my whole life, Scott.
Maggie, are you a North Sider as well?
Am I what?
A North Sider.
No, I was born in Cincinnati, but I grew up in New Jersey, and it's not my fault. Because I can see my father is watching, and he's deeply offended by it.
Is your father?
Oh my gosh! Every single one of my siblings, UCOM, AFRICOM, Quantico, Fort Huachuca, Coronado, 29 Palms, and like the middle of Virginia. They are all.
Well, I've been to probably half of those places.
That track.
Fort Huachuca, I did some EW training there, and rattlesnakes.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Sierra Vista, that was the town I felt. Yep. That's Well, great.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy your birthday. You have anything highly planned for your birthday this evening?
No, that it was this. You can ask your wonderful team. This is what I've been asking for my birthday for months. So thank you.
If we had known that, we'd have baked the cake.
No cake required. This is better. So thank you.
No, Maggie, go ahead. Are you kidding?
I've never pushed someone so fast.
I was about to say. The way you guys probably couldn't see it on camera, but she went like that. She gave me an elbow. Boy. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for doing that. That was very kind because it's not just Maggie's birthday, but I mean, your story means a lot because of her family. So
That's, yeah. And thanks to all the people in her family that served,
yes,
especially the other Marines. And what we give each other gratitude.
They got the internet for this.
they got the
Yeah.
Well, your family has internet, right?
I know a guy that I'm related to who does not believe in the internet.
Oh,
as
that's
a
right.
result of
You told us.
that. So, thank you.
Thank you both very much, and thank you everyone for joining us in our
You're welcome. All right. Take care.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye.